Okay, I will explain some point at the 8th meeting in monetary economics course.
Problem of inflation and deflation. First, definition of inflation and deflation. Second, types of inflation and deflation. Third, cause of inflation and deflation. Fourth, policies resolve inflation. Definition of inflation and deflation. Inflation is an increase in the price of goods in general, where there is a tendency to increase price continuously within a certain period of time. The price increase event is not only for one or two goods, but extends to almost all goods in a city or country. Deflation. Deflation is a condition in which there is a massive and continuous decline in the price of goods in a short period. This deflation is in stark contrast to inflation, which causes an increase in the price of goods in general. Therefore, deflation can also be defined as disinflation or a decrease in the inflation rate in a country. So, inflation is an increase in the price of goods compared to the previous period, while deflation is a decrease in the price of goods that is far from the previous period. Types of inflation and deflation. Type of inflation. 3 types of inflation. Inflation type based on severity. First, like inflation. In this type, inflation has a rate of less than 10% per year. Second, moderate inflation. Then the next type of inflation has a rate of between 10% to 30% per year. Third, heavy inflation. It is in a more dangerous condition, which is having a rate of between 30% and 100% per year. Fourth, hyperinflation. An increase in goods occurs when the rate of inflation accelerates to more than 100% per year. Types of inflation based on the cause. First, demandful inflation. This inflationary condition is caused by the high demand for goods caused by the large amount of liquidity in the market. This situation affects price change. Second, cost-push inflation. Apart from high demand, inflation can also be caused by change in the level of supply, the scarcity of production and distribution, even though normal demand can trigger an increase in price in accordance with the supply-demand theory. Types of inflation by origin. First, domestic inflation. This includes loss to the state budget on a ongoing basis. In this situation, the government through the central bank, namely Bank Indonesia, usually printed new money to cover needs. However, this can lead to advanced inflation if not managed properly. Second, inflation from abroad result in an increase in the price of import products. This example of inflation is commonly experienced by developing countries that use raw materials from abroad in their production process or that carry out international trade. Types of deflation. First, strategic deflation. Deflation arising from the enactment of policies relates to controlling the symptoms of excessive consumption in order to suppress price increase in the market. Second, circulation deflation. This deflation occurs during a period of transition from a stable economy to an economic downturn. This condition arises because of an imbalance between consumption and production power. Causes of inflation and deflation. Causes of inflation. First, demand pull effect. Second, cost driving effect. Third, exchange rate. Fourth, money supply. Fifth, national debt. Causes of deflation. First, structural change in the capital market. Second, increased productivity. Third, decrease in the money supply. Policies resolve inflation. Uncontrolled inflation will certainly lead to economic instability in the community. The government, through Bank Indonesia, usually takes policies when inflation starts, including monetary policy and fiscal policy. First, monetary policy. The measure through monetary policy is a method used by the central bank or Bank Indonesia to regulate the amount of money in circulation so that it affects economic activity and suppress inflation. Some of the policies taken were: first, open market operations. Second, discount policy. Third, compulsory cash reserve ratio. Fourth, selective enforcement of credit. Fifth, moral appeal. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy, namely directing economic conditions as expected. The instruments of this fiscal policy usually include tax, government spending, and government loans.
Example of case studies on
the effect of monetary and fiscal policies on inflation in Indonesia, and from the national news, which informs that in 20 and 14 years, one of the regions of Indonesia, namely North Sumatra, experienced inflation.
Holy grail.